morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Thank you, Nate.
Happy
She
Mother's
got her
Day.
boobs all on the screen.
Yes.
Let me put the donation button up so they know what to do.
Yes.
Since we
She
giving
got
it.
she got her boobs out. She got the curls for the girls. I don't know what's going on. Who you looking for? Who you
I'm
looking for?
fixing myself.
Where
I
are
ain't
you
looking
right
nobody.
now?
I am in Miami.
What? When you sneak out?
I snuck out a few days ago, y'all.
Ooh. I know it's warm down there.
It is extremely warm. I love it.
Oh,
I
I'm going
love
down.
it here.
So people aren't confused. This is just a special edition of I.Am.She Podcast. I
Yes.
mean, it feels like the best
A
time to
show.
do it because they both are on time. So
Oh,
Don't do me like that. Don't do me.
I don't
don't,
know.
I told y'all this was torture.
don't do
Don't do me
me.
like that. This is torture. This is too early.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you too.
Happy
But that
Mother's
would
Day to
mean
all
that
you
y'all have
guys that's
your
watching.
that would mean that you'll have your Saturdays to yourself and
We're not
those
gonna
I
do
like
that.
Saturday mornings though. I like getting up in
Yeah.
the morning doing the podcast on Saturdays. I love it.
Okay. I was giving y'all another option, but okay, we can keep it going. But
Especially since I know that you're gonna be in the studio and it might be a chance that you might cook. I'm gonna stay on Saturday.
But isn't it funny and ironic how he always cooks when we're not there? I don't like that. And then he always be like, "Oh, if y'all would have
Yeah.
came, y'all would have
Right.
had shrimp and grits.
well,
Y'all would have
Right.
came. Y'all would have
well,
had
the thing is,
pancakes and French
on
toast."
Saturdays we always have a pop-up shop, so that
Mm-hmm.
is the reason for it. But you all decide, I'm gonna sleep in, I'm gonna roll out the bed.
First of all, KD be up at the crack of dawn. She never sleeps in.
I do. I try to sleep in the day. I got a hangover, so I try to sleep in the day. But y'all play with me.
Girl,
Y'all be like, yeah,
bye.
get up at 9.
She got a
So,
hangover. She drunk 2 drinks and told me she got a hangover.
no, I actually went to this restaurant, the restaurant
Oh,
at
what's the
White
name of
Marsh,
it? What's the name of it?
Banditos. It's right there at White Marsh.
Bambino's. I've never.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Ben. Okay, yeah,
the
I know
Mexican
what it is.
restaurant.
How is it? Because they have one in Federal Hill too. I want to go.
It's good. Oh
Yeah.
my God. The drinks, the tacos. Oh my God.
Oh
David even
yeah.
tried something new. And you know how David is. David will go to a Mexican restaurant and don't eat nothing but a cheeseburger. He even tried, he
They
did.
have
If we go,
cheeseburgers at a Mexican restaurant. That doesn't
if
sound
we go,
right.
yes, we went to a Mexican restaurant and I'm trying something different. This man ordered a whole cheeseburger.
I have to admit that is my behavior because I've had bad experiences trying new stuff. Now I'll get it to go and go home,
See,
but
for me, I don't like
on
getting
the
stuff to
street.
go.
You're
Mm-mm.
I don't
right.
like really.
It
I
don't
don't
taste
really
the
like
same.
ordering food to go because it don't taste the same. I feel like it don't be made right, and then by the time
Yeah.
you get it home,
Well, you
it be a
can't put it in
different
the microwave,
temperature.
miss. You got to put it in the oven.
That's
Oh,
still
see,
gonna
I
take
can't do
too
all
long.
that. Yeah, I'm putting it in the oven.
But
You might,
typically I'll get something that's safe, like chicken tenders or
that's
Yeah.
David. That's David.
something
David
Yeah.
will
safe.
stick
Because
with
you're
something
not
like
about
that.
to have me embarrassing
Mm.
myself out on the. That's I typically whatever restaurant I go to, I know what I'm gonna eat. I get the same
Yeah.
thing from the Cheesecake Factory. I got a couple things that I could choose from. But y'all be out there adventurous and then you shit on yourself when you go home before you get home.
Me. That was me yesterday.
No,
Okay.
see?
So we went to this really, really, really nice fancy restaurant yesterday, for Shauna's birthday. And it was really expensive. The food was amazing. However,
Mm-hmm.
I tried some new shit. Now
See?
I've eaten snapper in the past, but not this
Mm-mm.
kind of snapper. This
And you
this was a
eating new
different
fish?
snapper.
New fish?
This was a fresh out
No.
the sea snapper. They just went
No.
and caught that and came back and cooked it
And
type
it
of
Cooking
snapper.
is.
fresh.
That's what farm fresh food is. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
No,
really
I,
fresh, not
I
something that
don't
was
like
and
that.
frozen.
honey, I got home. I was like, ooh, my stomach wasn't right. And then we went
That's
back to
one
the strip
thing.
and walked the strip. I'm like, I'm ready to go. This ain't right.
See the trick. So for me, I eat food that you can tell by sight and smell that is not good.
Okay.
Seafood is dangerous. Now you
Seafood
can
is
eat
dangerous.
shrimp. Shrimp, you can tell if it's overcooked. You can tell if
Right.
it's not bad.
Oh
But
yeah,
fish
yeah.
in general, you can't typically tell because it already has a
It already has
crummy
that smell.
smell. But I
Right.
eat food that I could smell, and I don't. I always ask for my sauce on the side because I want to see. I want
Well,
to see that.
he still went back to his regular meal though. He actually got a quesadilla, but he put fried
Mm-hmm.
chicken in the quesadilla. Who put fried chicken in the quesadilla? He put
Look,
What they put like
look,
a fried chicken breast in it? Oh,
they
look
fried
at
nice.
it.
that.
I like that.
They
I
put it
like
in the
that. I like
quesadilla.
See,
that.
see,
That sounds
that's
good.
different. That's
That's
Yeah,
different.
that's very
different
different. That's
because
very
he would have
different.
ate this if they would.
Because normally they put grilled chicken in there. I want to taste a quesadilla with fried chicken in it.
It's
Have,
good.
have either of you ever had your stomach pumped?
No.
No.
A horrible experience, and it's why
Ooh.
I'll always eat safe. And your pupils
Oh, okay.
black
Oh,
for the
so
next.
you. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've never had my stomach pumped, but
From
Yeah.
like
no.
from like
But I
food
do.
poisoning.
I do
Yes.
want to try.
Mm.
I do want to try. Getting a not a colonoscopy, but it's something else.
A
It's
colonic.
a colonic. A colonic.
She
Colonic.
want a colon
I want to
cleanse.
do a colonic.
It's
I want
not.
a colon cleanse.
You know why
It's
people do
not.
colon cleanse, right?
Yeah.
The porno
Why?
star started the colon cleanse.
Oh,
Mm.
I didn't know
Just to
that.
let you know.
A
Just
I
to
didn't
little
let
know
you
that.
fun
I be
fact
seeing
from
it.
Kay.
No, but I be seeing it on TikTok, and I see a lot of girls who are trying to start like eating more healthier and more cleaner. They before they start, they go
You
get a
don't have to do
colonic,
a colon
and
cleanse. You just have to eat like
I
Jay.
want to try it.
Like she said, it helps to jumpstart it. But
Yeah, it's like a
if you
jump
go
start.
back to eating a piece of chicken, all you
Right.
Oh,
doing is just
baby.
cleaning out what you have not been able to get out. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
But you
Yeah.
have to typically go like maybe 3 times to be
Yeah.
completely clean. But it's
But
called
there are
Mm.
other
filling in
options,
the
aren't
stomach.
there?
It's a who?
There are other options like Jay Foreigner, one of our auditors from the islands, and he has
Hmm.
these drinks that he uses that actually cleanses. They actually sell them at the grocery store because he said he eats so much stuff during a weekday and then he's smoking stuff.
And
It's
then he
these
go back
drinks.
every Monday and do it.
Yep.
Right.
The
That's
drinks are
pointless.
like when you drink the tea,
What's the
those
drink
are
called?
those are ongoing cleanses. Like something
Like
Right.
you can
kombucha.
do on a
Like, have y'all
daily
tried
basis.
kombucha?
Right.
Yeah, that's what it
Kabuchi.
is. It's a
That's
cold
something you
brew.
Kombucha.
could do, but that doesn't get to your I was about to say your rectum.
It doesn't get to
Your
your
intestines. It doesn't
yeah,
completely clean and
intestine.
clean your
Yeah.
intestines
Now
out. That gets the stuff that you've been eating, that
out.
pushes that out. But when you get your colon cleanse, that's why you typically have to do 3 to 4 visits within like 2 months, so they
Mm-mm.
can get all of that
Oh.
back. So a lot of people who want to lose weight fast, that's what they're losing. That waste is weight.
So
So
what?
if you put it
So do
clean,
they
you can
put
lose a
you?
couple.
So I'm assuming that they give you some type of anesthesia or no?
No, it's just
No.
they
It's
they
just like a
uh they,
little hole they
they
shoot up your
lube
butt, right?
right. They lube the tube, and they just put it within, and it's only like a couple inches in you,
Nope, you're
and
already making
they
my butt
start.
hurt.
First of all, the fact that you knew how it started, you good.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
good.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you. The fact that she knew what a
Right,
damn
right.
stomach
You
I
good.
just
what you
heard it
say?
before.
The
I
fact that
just
she
heard
knew
Uh-huh.
it
about the porn
before.
stars getting it done
Right,
is what she
Yeah,
knows.
that's
right.
where I heard
It's
it
enough for me.
from.
Hold
That's
up.
where I
First of
heard
all,
it
It's
from.
just it's
and
just
to start
sucking,
off, you got like
it's
80
pushing.
kids.
That came
Make it
from
make
where they
sense.
originated.
All
That
around the
came
same
from where they
age.
originated from. They ain't come out my butt.
Okay, so wait a minute. In the process of having them children, don't act like you ain't do some
The
extracurricular
in between
activities.
times,
Don't worry about
Because
that.
the
because
stork didn't just drop them off at your front door.
stitches had to heal. So
Don't
we
worry
Wait a
know,
about that.
minute.
Stay out my bed.
we
I've
know.
never had stitches. I've never torn.
Wait a
I've
minute,
never had
Nate.
stitches.
Wait a minute, Nate.
Mm.
Don't act like them. Don't act like the stork dropped them kids off at your front door. Because we know that ain't
Hold
true.
up. Hold on.
Exactly.
Time out.
Exactly.
Crystal.
Don't act like the stork ain't dropped them
Hold
kids
on.
off.
Time out, because a lot of people always ask me that when you got 4 kids, they be like, I know that hurt. I've never tore and I've never had stitches.
Wow, that's amazing. I
And
mean,
my
you had
snatch
enough. They
bag
should
is
just slide right off the coochie.
and my snatch bag has always been perfect. The snatch bag, I'm trying to tell y'all.
Okay.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
won't try it now. I won't try it now. And I feel like now I'm older,
Girl,
it's
stop
gonna start
lying.
fitting. I won't.
Girl, she want one more, don't you?
I won't. No, I don't. You do. I don't. I'm done.
I do. I do.
I'm on
I do.
FDK time now. Y'all know what FDK
Oh,
time?
yeah, I know what FDK time is.
Look,
Everybody on FDK time this weekend. We had this lady in the pool saying that. My best friend Sharon, she was like, she asked the lady in the pool, like, where your kids at? She said, oh, they so and so and so and so. She's like, well, girl, FDK. And then she was like, yeah, that's right, FDK.
I'm always on FDK
She didn't say
time.
she didn't say the initials. She said the whole word.
I'm always on FDK time. My day to the point where my oldest son now know what that means. He'll look at me like, I'm like, shut up, for real. FDK, you old enough. You 14. I'm done with y'all. You can watch Gemma.
Yeah,
You can
you'll
watch
figure it out.
Cameron. I got a
Y'all take
13-year-old
look. Both of y'all
and a
take one
14-year-old.
kid apiece. Pick which one you want to watch.
There you go. There you go.
Pick which
But
one of them you
anyway,
want to watch.
but anyway, I am so excited. It's Mother's Day. Although I had to
It
take my husband out for
is.
Mother's Day.
You took your husband out for Mother's Day. That don't make sense. He's the mother now.
Because I did not realize that it was Mother's Day weekend, and he took me out last weekend. He took me out on a date last weekend, and so I was like, he got mad. He was like, I want to go to the movies, and my coworkers going, and they ain't invite me. I said, oh, you want me to take you out on a date? And so he was like, yeah, I want to see the new movie, Doctor whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't really follow
Dr.
the
Strange.
yeah, Doctor Strange. So I said, okay, I'll take you out. But then somebody had said something about Mother's Day. I said, wait. I didn't realize it was Mother's Day weekend. So do I still have to take you out on a date? He said, yeah, you already proposed it. So yeah, he went out on a date
I
for
don't
Mother's Day.
like. I don't appreciate that mothers were trying to celebrate it yesterday.
They was.
It was
I
a
feel like
lot
some
of
mothers, some mothers wanted a day to themselves, which would have been yesterday, and then today they're gonna spend that day with their kids.
right, because
I
we
don't
had a
want to
lot
spend
of
Mother's Day
parents
with my
that came
kids.
to the school Friday. That was a bunch of Happy Mother's Day, and I was like, we still in Teacher Appreciation Week, so
Nate was
Wait a
so
minute.
Nate was so sour. He was so
I
sour.
need for you to
No,
give
we
me
not
Still
my
gonna.
in Teacher
shine.
Appreciation Week.
You're not
Because
gonna skip past.
I always feel the guilt of having to do something extra special for my mother because it's Mother's
Oh,
Day and then my birthday is a couple weeks later. So I always feel some
yeah,
kind of way about that. Like,
yeah.
so this is eye for eye. I got to do something for you to do something.
Oh, it's a tit
Nate
for
was
tat
sour
situation.
about
I
that
see how
Mother's
you
Day.
feeling.
We still
It's a tit for tat, so I see how you feeling.
So how do you all typically, both of you typically celebrate Mother's Day?
yeah. Um,
For me, I usually just hang out. Probably get something to eat, lounge around the house, and do nothing.
Now, do
Nothing
you
really
celebrate
too
Mother's Day
special.
on Sunday or Saturday or the whole weekend?
Sunday, Sunday,
Oh,
typically on a Sunday.
But we know she
Yeah.
gets started Saturday night.
Saturday night, absolutely,
You know
absolutely,
it. How do you
absolutely,
typically celebrate Mother's Day? And for all the listeners out there, tell us and chime in and tell us how you typically celebrate your Mother's Day. What are you planning on doing
absolutely.
today?
Today, yes. If it's some events today, let me know. I'm there.
What you doing today, KD? And how do you typically celebrate Mother's Day?
I usually just getting stuff from the kids. I usually stay in the house. I don't really go out too much. Now I am. But I really stopped going out. I really just do like a nice dinner at home. The kids usually,
Okay.
make me something. Well, since they got a little older, my husband usually take them to the store or he'll surprise me and order something offline or whatever,
Oh,
which I'm not
nice.
really a big fan of. I'm not really a big fan of gifts. Now I am. I used to not be. I used to be like, don't give me that. I'm not going to wear that. But now I am because my wrist be blinging Like, yes, give me these bracelets. Yes, give me
Yeah.
all the jewelry. Give me the I'm sorry jewelry. I
Yeah.
don't even think the I'm sorry jewelry because my breasts
Yeah.
be. But yeah, it's normally just in the house, just a nice dinner. We all cook a meal together.
Ashley said tourist season, Nate. Yeah, girl, bye. Get off of this. Get
No,
off of here.
Yeah,
Gemini all day, no
Oh,
Taurus.
you're a tour. Oh, you're a Gemini.
he
Your
been saying
season
he was a
coming to an
Gemini.
end. It's coming to an end, Taurus.
Taking my
Sorry.
mom out or giving her a card. Oh, Ashley, that's
Aw,
nice. That's
yeah.
really nice.
That's the only thing about Mother's Day. My mother moving to Florida. I have to send her stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing. But Jessica be trying to outdo me. I'm gonna tell you about my little sister. She be trying to outdo me. She be doing stuff in advance, and then my mother will call me on FaceTime, like, "Oh, look what Jessica sent." Listen, I'm a last minute person. You know this. You know this about me. Jessica
No,
also
we know. Oh,
did.
we
She
know.
take
We
the
know.
time out to look for something that's extra special, that's
Because you know
different
Mother's Day is coming up. Why
every
don't you do the
year.
same?
That's
Why don't you
different
do the
every
same? You know Mother's Day is coming up.
But
because Jessica don't.
so it's not my trick, but I've adapted this for the pandemic.
Mhm.
What is
Instacart
it?
is in every state.
Instacart.
And when
Yes,
I tell you
yes.
Instacart has a number of from Dollar Tree to electronic to Target,
Ooh.
Nate,
food
when I
places,
when I tell you my mother has everything, her garage is so packed. This lady be forgetting she be having doubles of stuff and reordering because she
get
got a loss.
food. For my
Yeah, get
mother's
her food.
birthday, over the pandemic and Mother's Day, I ordered through Instacart a bushel of crabs.
Ooh,
I got her. My mother
Wow.
loves
Really? Through
she
Instacart? A
loves
bushel of crabs.
oxtails.
let me put
She
that in
loves
there.
from
Mmm.
St. Mary's. It just depends on where they are. You just put her location in, and it'll give you the
Mm-hmm.
restaurants around her. But I've got my mother loves oxtails from St.
Ooh,
Mary's.
me too. I
I
Mm.
love
give
St.
her
Mary's
her
oxtail.
favorite meal. That's always my go-to. And then whatever else I could do, I do that. But I'm telling you, Instacart will save your life. It's so many things on there. It's not just markets on there anymore. It's actual stores.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
So
they
how do
take
you
food
plan on?
stamp.
It's
Oh,
cheaper to get
sorry.
flowers through Instacart. Go to the market and order them versus going to these 1-800 flowers. I'm telling
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Sherry's
Yeah.
berries, Sherry's berries.
you. Yeah.
So Nick, how do you plan on celebrating Mother's Day today?
I'm gonna do what I've been doing. Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna send something, and I just it's no shade, and this is just my issue, but I think we need to do things from our comfort zone and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not try to outdo ourselves or overdo it
Right.
or I think it's
I feel you
definitely
on that.
it's one of
Yeah.
the holidays that because my dad died young, so I never really celebrated Father's Day much. So I definitely celebrated Mother's Day, and it's right before my birthday, so I can't be like, I'll just do get a card or make her something. But my mother enjoys my jewelry, so I always make her something. I've been
Mhm.
sending, you know, Instacart is because you can go to 10 different stores and have it all sent at one time. You
At
can
one time,
buy it
yeah,
all
I'm
at
looking.
one time and take care of it, and then they'll call you when they're at the front door, so you know it got there. I
Mm-hmm.
just the convenience of it all, and I
Yeah.
know it's because of the pandemic, but that's it. Um, she might get her oxtails today because St. Mary's is open, and
I
Ooh.
love me some oxtails from St. Mary's.
yeah,
Oh
my
my
mother loves
God,
I
that is
loves
my
never ate
them.
favorite dish
oxtails.
there.
What does
Huh?
it
Huh?
taste like? I never had
It
oxtails. What does
tastes like
oxtails taste
it
like?
ain't nothing but beef. It's
Beef, yeah, I
good.
guess it's
It's
Uh,
beef.
beef. It's
It's a
beef.
different cut of beef. It's a little you have
Mm-hmm.
to cook it a little bit more because
It's a
it's
little
really tough.
rich. It's a little
Yeah,
rich. So
yeah.
it's gonna,
It
yeah,
feels it's a
yeah,
little bit more gamey than like a burger, but
no.
it's not.
yeah.
I don't like that
It's just
gamey.
like, you know what it tastes like. I'm gonna sum it up for you. It tastes like a neck bone, like a
Yeah,
beef
yeah,
neck bone. That's
yeah.
what it tastes like, even
I
though
don't
it's
like neck
not a neck
bones, so
bone.
never
You go.
mind.
So I might make some
You will love
oxtails one day.
oxtails. You will
You gotta
love
cook them. That's
oxtails.
something that you can put in the slow
You
cooker for
have
the
to cook.
day
Yeah,
and let it get
yeah. You
as
have to
tender
cook them
as
for
possible.
hours. Yeah.
Marinate it first. Marinate it overnight just to loosen it up and season
Mm-hmm.
it, and then put it in the slow cooker.
Now, do
All
you make your oxtails like how Caribbean people make them, or you make them like how Black people make them? Because you know it's two different
it
kinds.
depends. It depends, like how if I'm really feeling good, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Caribbean. Unless I'm not, and then you will get good African American.
Okay. Okay.
But I've learned to put them in a slow cooker because I will put them in the oven and you
Yeah.
got to keep watching them. But the slow cooker,
Yeah.
you can let it stay in there all day. And I'm telling you, Kay, if you fix these oxtails, you're gonna have another child.
You're
No,
gonna have another baby.
Yeah, you are.
Because trust me, oxtails are delicious.
I
They
don't
are
think he'll try
delicious.
them. That boy only like two things: cheeseburgers and chicken.
I'm
I don't think
telling.
he.
I'm gonna give you the recipe.
Give
Okay,
it to
I'm
her.
gonna
Let her
try.
do as she please, Nate.
I'm
You
I'm gonna
will get
try, but I
another
ain't trying to
baby.
have no more babies. I'm done with them.
I'm just saying, my
Girl,
friend was having
bye.
difficulty having children,
I'm over 'em.
and I made her a bunch of oxtails, and she fed it to her husband, and her daughter is 6 years old now. I'm just
I
saying.
see that on Instagram. I see that on Instagram before. It was saying something like that. It was like we get these oxtails. You
It
go
is
for
because
it.
it's. I don't know if it's the tailbone and it just got a natural aphrodisiac in it, but
Mm-hmm.
especially if you put that good jerk season in it, and
Oh, yes, Lord.
see,
Yes, yes.
see, I'm just telling
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Since
So
Oxtails
Miss
are delicious. I love me some
is that
oxtails.
like a
Gilmer
Caribbean
says yes,
food?
you said what?
It could be Caribbean or it could be African American because they cook it in two different types of ways.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
Caribbeans cook it like, as a more of a spiciest type thing. And
Hmm.
she said, "Oh, really? Another baby from oxtail? Yeah, I know you don't want no more children."
right. You better sit down. Your child almost
Hi,
18.
Sandra. We miss you
Hey,
too.
Sandra.
If you're watching, please share this out to your favorite mom or
Yes.
dad,
Yeah, share this
whoever,
to
but
your
let them
favorite
watch.
mom or to your mom.
Yes.
Sandra, how
Tell
are
her
you
tune
celebrating
in.
your Mother's Day
Mother's
today? Let
Day.
us know. But
Yeah.
the other thing is like I know that when my grandma was alive, we did a lot of things. My grandma, they always took her out, the whole family and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So um another thing I want to talk about was like, if you no longer have like, your mother around, what type of things do you do to celebrate? Or do you even still celebrate Mother's Day?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Do
Mother's
you?
Day
I
for
know a lot
some
of
people
people
like
do. I know a lot of
international.
people do. And that's a sensitive
Mm-hmm.
subject for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know this girl on my Instagram, she does a I miss you brunch. I miss my mother brunch. That's what it's called.
Oh,
And she's
okay.
been doing it, I believe, for like the last something like, I know it's been more than like 5 years. And
Yeah.
she just actually had her event yesterday at Carroll Park, and she has a I miss you brunch. Yeah, I miss my mother brunch. That's what it's called.
I think
So for
Mother's
all
Day
the,
is
because she
just
lost her mom at a young age, I believe.
but I think
Mm.
it's one Mother's Day is one of those holidays that it's an international holiday and everybody celebrates it. Even if, like you said, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have your mom, if you're in church or in school,
Mm-hmm.
or there's something done for Mother's Day, so you're gonna catch it somehow.
Right.
Somehow,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
What about
yeah.
those people that send their mothers on cruises and trips and stuff like that?
I can't get like that.
Right.
I
I
mean,
don't
that's
have enough
just
money.
planning though. If you
That's
plan,
Yeah, you know what, that is planning. But my mom, I love her to death. But my mother is so dry. Like, she
but
don't
see,
want to do anything. She
but
is
see those types of
dry.
mothers. Like I used to buy my mother like from her favorite stores. I would just buy her something, and then I realized my mother don't like going places to wear these
My
things.
mother don't like
So
going
if
places.
what,
Yeah.
so what you'll have to do is just do it. Don't
Right.
ask
I was
her,
going to
just
say that.
do it.
Yep.
And the
Just
guilt
sit
What I'm gonna
of
have to do is
wasting your money.
I just get her something that she likes, because
But
she one
she
of
can
those
do
fair
that
weather
herself
mothers.
though.
Fair weather mothers.
right.
She one of them
But
fair weather mothers. She hit one day, she may be interested, in the next day I don't really want to do it. And it's
yeah, but
like
the
I don't want
guilt
to.
of it. But see, that's why you don't ask. I
Yeah,
don't
you
ever
don't ask.
You
ask
You
right.
just
You
anybody.
right. You
plan.
right.
But that's
You
gift
right.
giving in general. I never ask anybody, what do you want? because it first of all it takes the thought out of it,
Right.
and this
Mm-hmm.
if you get a person that is wish washy like that, it's never going to be anything that you can get to really please them. So do like especially for my goal is for my 40th birthday, to take my mother with me on a trip somewhere because
Ooh.
my mother she likes
Ooh.
she'll go to like Atlantic City and she's traveled on her own and with her significant other, but it's sometimes you have to just surprise them and the guilt of them wasting your money will force them to enjoy
That's
themselves.
true. That's
Mm-hmm.
So
true.
sometimes you just
That's
gotta
Mm-hmm.
that's
do it, and it's an
Mm-hmm.
experience. I know me being an artist, I've been able to help my mother experience things that she's never done before. But sometimes you just gotta just do it, and
that's my mother. You can't keep my mother still.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right, Blake Rose, you
I
can't
like
keep
that
my
about
mother
your mother,
still.
though. I like that
You
about your mother. I like
cannot
the fact
keep
that
that
your
lady
mother is
still.
she's an adventurous woman and she likes to go places. She's not like one of
She-
them types that
and
sit up. She said I may get some crabs later. Oh, save me some.
ooh,
yeah. Go to Instacart. It was
go
cheaper.
Baby, I
right.
told
I'm
my
just
family I
telling
wanted
you.
a trip alone. That's right.
Low.
I've seen a lot of women on TikTok lately who's been saying like, for Mother's Day they just wanted their husbands or their significant others to get them a room or an Airbnb by themselves and leave them the hell alone.
Yes.
And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Or
dang,
like,
I see a
I
lot of
like
people
that.
say that now.
I could do that. I could do
You,
that. Give me my alcohol.
mhm.
Give me a hotel with a spa, a joint tour. Like I could do that. I will
But
sit
I
there
can
that
tell
whole
you that's
weekend. Give
something
me
that
alcohol.
men have always done. But I typically don't see women comfortable enough to go on vacations. Men go on vacations by themselves with the hope of
True.
meeting somebody. So why don't y'all do that? Like
Mm.
some people feel uncomfortable. But I know people who won't even go to a
But you said
restaurant
it with the
by
hopes of
themselves.
meeting somebody. So are you saying like single men or men in
In
general?
general.
Because
Well, we're
you
gonna say
know,
men in general because we not no everybody not single that's meeting new people. So
Right.
yeah, everybody that's meeting new people are not single. No,
right.
they're
Right.
not.
So but it's just
But
it's so empowering to take yourself out to dinner or go shopping for the day and end at a movie or go to dinner.
but
I used to do that
people
all
have
the
made it
time.
such a cliche, like, oh, you going out to eat by yourself, or
I
oh, you
used
going
to
to
do
do this by
that.
It's
yourself.
other lonely women saying that.
Yeah. I used to do that
Mm.
when I lived in Virginia. When I lived in Virginia when I was like in like 18, 19, I would always go out to eat by myself. And
Where did you
usually that's how
go?
I met people.
Where
That's
was
how
there
I
to
met
eat in
guys.
Virginia?
Huh?
Right? Where's that? At the Waffle
Where is
House.
there to eat in Virginia?
The Waffle House.
In Petersburg, Virginia, it's a lot of because the college right down the street,
Oh,
so they
okay.
got everything.
Thanks, say yeah, that's a
ESU is
part of
right down
self
the street.
care. Hmm.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, that is a part of self care.
I
I
always
mean,
went out by
I mean,
myself,
to each his own. Some
and that's kind of where I met like a lot of guys in my teens was going by myself, going out to eat by myself,
Hmm.
going out, to just the store, going out to the mall by myself, which I still do. Sometimes I just want to go by myself, like especially like to the malls, because my husband will get unless he buys something, he'll get to the point where he's just like, you know what you want. You already know what you came for, which is crazy because when we first met, I used to hate going shopping, and he used to be like that. He used to take forever in the mall to the point where I'm sitting down like the man, like, come on, you ain't found nothing yet. And now we switch roles.
So
And now he be
y'all
like,
can't take it. Y'all can't take it, but y'all can give it out.
but
Got
that's
somebody
him now.
sitting in that boring hallway of the mall for hours while you in one section. I used to hate it. To this day, I don't like Westview Mall because my
Did I
mother
ever
used to
still
go to
have West?
Westview. Well, no, it's
it's
a
a
strip
shopping center
mall
now.
now. But I used to hate going to that mall because my mother would, first of all, she would start at Sam's Club.
Mm.
That
She
was
would
my
work her,
mother.
she would work her way over to that big old furniture store, and
Oh
then every store. That used to be the big mall in the city outside of Towson.
God. Right.
Outside of
And
Towson, yeah, yeah.
I hate.
No.
Ooh, you
I'm gonna tell
deserve
you
it.
something
You
worse, Nate.
deserve to wait.
I'm gonna tell you something worse. When we lived in Cockeysville, Maryland, My mother every Friday, for some reason, even though it's other Walmarts, my mother would take us all the way to PA to this one Walmart every Friday. And I'm
Because they
sitting here
had
like,
all
"Mom,
the
why we
stuff
gotta
in
take
there.
this trip?"
They had all the good stuff in there. You know they ain't have none of that in the ones in the
You
city.
know they ain't had none of that. But why
I
is it
mean,
that though? Why is it that when you go shopping, I don't like going to certain places in the city because they don't ever have nothing.
No, because
Now, if
you
I
don't
do,
need it.
I go to certain areas. Like, okay, let me just say this for example. So for Mother's Day, my aunt got my mother this really nice picture of her mom and all of her sisters, right? And she incorporated even the ones that passed away into the picture.
oh,
So
cool.
I called the Walgreens by my house, which is on Ashland and Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually called me like, "Hey, we don't have that kind of paper, so you got to find another a Walgreens." Instantly, I knew. I said, "Listen, this is gonna be a problem." I called the Walgreens on North Avenue, across the street from the courthouse. Our machine is down, and we ain't even got no paper.
Why
Damn.
you even set yourself up like that? You should have straight called
So
Is the
I
them.
knew
one
instantly.
downtown? Is the Walgreens downtown? They typically have more because they are serving a bigger population.
Well, where's
Right.
Walgreens downtown?
Right on off of right before you get to Light Street,
That big one right there, sit on that corner. I know
by
what
the
you're talking
across
about.
from the courthouse.
Yeah, that big. It's a big one.
Oh, the one that sell liquor.
Oh, no, that no. First of all, you're old because that one doesn't even exist anymore. That used to be on
I
Baltimore
never knew
Street.
that.
No, that was a Rite
No, that
Aid
was Rite
one.
Aid. That was Rite Aid. That was Rite Aid. That was
See,
Rite Aid.
now we understand her patterns, Kay, because she was going to the Rite Aids to buy liquor, and then she was going down on the
Oh,
block. That's what. That's what. See, you tell it on yourself. You got to be careful.
Because I never
anyway,
even heard or knew
I
that a right
ended up
here sell
going.
liquor.
I
And that
ended
just
up
tells
going to the
you.
one in Falls Road over there in Hamden because
Oh, don't
y'all
try
was
to
getting on my
change the subject. You still
nerves.
don't change the subject.
I went to the one on Falls Road in Hamden because I knew they would
Uh
have what
huh.
I needed.
And see, it's been a
So,
minute since that's Rite Aid's even been there. So that
I
means you
never
were
knew about them
almost
right Aid.
probably
oh my
underage
God,
drinking.
right.
You was underage drinking, going
First
to
of
the Rite
all,
Aids.
and then
You
the one down by Lexington Market, they used to sell liquor too, but they
Hmm.
closed that one down.
Well, they had to. They had to. I would
how
have shut
is
them
it?
down
Hold
too.
on, Nate. I just don't want to stay away from how you know about all these stores that ain't supposed to be selling liquor that was selling liquor because I've never
They
heard of
had
these
a liquor
stores.
license, I reckon.
Yeah, the
But
I
Rite
how
think
Aid
they
you?
had a liquor
downtown.
license. The Rite
But how?
Aid, it was two Rite Aids downtown that had liquor license.
Uh
But
huh.
how you?
I could have swore it was Walgreens.
But
No,
how you able to
it's no.
pinpoint
Their
these
Rite Aid is
places?
actually Walgreens now.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
But
yeah.
how you able to pinpoint these places?
Who
You
me?
Because
got
they
a
the only ones downtown.
pay
Well,
attention. You got a problem.
well, that one was well known. That one was known to
That
have
was
liquor in it.
known.
It was that one on Baltimore Street, and it was one up the street also on Baltimore Street that
Okay.
also sold liquor. That's where
Yeah.
the first Merrick Marine Arena was, right there in that block.
Hmm.
They destroyed that theater now because it used to be underground, but it used to be a Rite Aid there that sold liquor too
Hmm.
because they were on
Well,
Baltimore Street.
so I came to
Oh.
the assumption that now you and Nate have a problem. Pay attention. Y'all got a
I
problem.
I don't have a problem, but I have
I don't have a
friends that had a
problem. I just know
problem.
where I'm going.
Right. When I was younger, I had friends that were alcoholics, so I learned where these spaces were.
Oh, I don't have a problem. I just know the places that I'm going, and if I ever
Mhm.
need something, I know where to go get it.
But I mean, it was a southern. I mean, if you go down to the south, the gas stations sell liquor. That's why
Well,
Yeah.
they mostly sell beer and wine and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Here, in the South, you got to go to the liquor store.
Yeah.
But
You got to go to the actual
most of
liquor
the
store.
time,
Yeah.
the 7-Elevens and
yeah.
the Walmarts
Mhm.
and the gas stations, they sell beer, wine
Hmm.
cooler, stuff like that.
But those Rite Aids, they sold straight out liquor.
They sold
Uh-huh.
straight out liquor.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
liquor. Yeah.
yeah. That's
But they
how it
ain't
is in
last long.
California though. In LA, there's a lot of the CVS's and stuff like that. They
Uh-huh.
sell hard liquor.
Yeah.
Yep, Yeah.
No.
But you see, they
Yeah.
ain't last too long because it's too hard to keep a liquor license here in
Well,
Maryland.
it lasted for quite a while though. I can imagine how long, because it's been like that since I've been living there. So
Yeah,
I can imagine how long it been in the stores, how long that
Yeah.
yeah.
store been lasting. It's only just been like within the last 2 or 3 years that they have closed down. Since
Yeah,
they're
Right.
like
it's true.
revitalizing the whole downtown area. So within the
Yeah.
last two, maybe three, maybe I'm gonna say maybe five. I'm pushing it with five, but I'm gonna say five. Within the last
It's
5 years,
been.
they have
I
closed
would say
down.
it been in the last 3 years because the station that I worked at, they had it there when I first got there, and then
Oh,
maybe
okay.
a couple years ago is when the last one on both the closest one to the block closed down. The other ones had been closed down, but that was the last one that served liquor in it.
I
Uh,
mean, it's convenient. You on your way
I
to the
mean, it
block.
is. Yeah, it
so
is. It
I
is.
have a couple questions uh, for you all.
Okay.
What was the worst? Oh, your children are watching. What was the worst gift you ever received for Mother's Day?
The
Hmm.
worst gift I ever
It
received.
doesn't have to necessarily be from your children, but what was the worst gift you ever received?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. The worst gift I've ever
See,
received.
she's scared of her child. You can tell the princess scared of her
First
child.
of all, my son don't even watch this daggone show. He be like, "Y'all get on that too early for
You
me."
know what the worst gift that I received on
Mm-hmm.
What?
on any given Mother's Day is when my
It don't have
kids
to be
went
from
to
your
school.
children. From what?
It's
What was
it's from my kids. When them kids were still going to school before COVID, and they used to send them home with them ugly ass macaroni necklaces. Stop sending my kids home with them,
it?
and
Well,
then
you
they
need
try
to
to make me
say you
wear them.
need
Where
to.
I'm gonna wear them necklaces?
Well, you need to get your PTA together so we can afford better art supplies.
Where I'm wearing them necklaces at? Stop sending my kids. And then
I
oh,
can't
hold
breathe.
on. I don't mean to
I
start
can't
away
breathe.
from this subject, but then when y'all send them home with them little ugly ornaments and try to make them kids be sitting here, put it on a Christmas tree. No, I'm not putting that on my Christmas tree. I'll put it on the bed. Put it on the
I
bed.
can't say this was the worst gift, but it was a gift that I didn't expect that it was going to be like this. I was appreciative of the gift because I always wanted it, but I didn't. I thought it was gonna be something different. And do y'all know those teddy bears that they got now that's like made out of roses?
Uh
My
huh.
Have
husband
y'all?
bought me that. David bought me that.
I thought it was real roses. Nobody told me that shit was full of fucking foam roses. I was
I
pissed.
still
I
Yeah.
was excited for the gift because I was like, oh my god, I always wanted these. But nobody
I
told
never
me
wanted
that the
it.
fucking gift was full of fucking foam roses. I was pissed.
I never wanted it.
Love the gift. Love the gift. Could not stand it. Cause I'm like, y'all have bamboozled me into believing that my man went out
Well,
and bought me a gift with a teddy bear full of fucking roses. And I
well,
touched the roses and the bitches was
they
fake.
have the ones with the forever roses in it, but
Yeah,
those
that's what
are
he bought
like
me.
almost $1,000, if not more.
Oh, okay. So you
Uh-uh.
got the phone paper. You got the arts and
Yeah,
crafts
I
one.
got the
Oh, okay.
yeah,
phone. Yeah, he
I
bought
got the
me that.
phone one too.
He bought
yeah.
me that one. I said, "How much was this?" I think he said like 30 something. I
Yeah,
said, "I
they
know you
still
lost
expensive though. I
your
mean, for what it is,
mind."
they still
I
cost a couple
mean, you
dollars.
know, Kim Kardashian probably got one, but I didn't get one.
I don't want
And I
one.
So,
was a little
I
so
can't do
the
I was a
nothing
next
little
with it.
upset
question.
because I'm like, oh shit. Oh, you spent like you know, 100 and something or maybe $300 on this and the whole time you only
Nope,
spent 20. I was a little
nope,
upset. I was a little confused.
nope.
Out of control, first of all, for you to be ungrateful.
Now I'm not being
So the next
ungrateful.
question is: do you remember your first Mother's Day?
Oh
First
no, I
Mother's Day.
don't. Do I remember my first Mother's
See,
Day?
you got a grown ass child. That's
I was 18 years old. I don't remember my first Mother's Day.
you don't
I was
remember it. That was
18.
your first Mother's Day.
I was 18. 9 times out of 10, somebody probably ain't get me a goddamn thing but a happy
You had a
Mother's Day.
child. That was your gift.
And I don't remember it. I don't.
Me
Nope,
either.
I don't remember. I don't remember it.
I believe my first Mother's
My
Day,
first
because
Mother's Day, I don't
that was
know.
when my mother and that was when my grandma was still alive. My mother was around, and that was her firstborn. I probably say that she probably had a party. She probably even had a party or a dinner. My mother, she would just do stuff like that. I could see that, especially if it was her first child. I don't remember. I vaguely remember. Oh, you know what? I do remember. It was with my in laws. We went to It's a man-made beach down here in Middle River. We had a
Uh-huh.
cookout. I can't remember
Not
the name of
Gunpowder, Miami Beach or
not
something like that.
yeah, that's what it was, Miami Beach. Cause I was like, they got a Miami Beach here. That's where we went. We went down to Miami Beach
Ashley
and
said no,
had
she don't
a
remember.
shut up, Ashley. That's my cousin, y'all. So I can tell her shut up. Shut up, Ashley. But anyway, they had we had a cookout with my in-laws.
Oh, okay.
Um yeah, and my mother-in-law, she cooked on the grill. She makes like her hamburgers homemade from scratch. So she cooked on the grill and the kids got in up. That's actually it was a pretty clean beach. I don't know if they still have it now. I really don't go
Mm-hmm.
too many places out here in Middle River, so I don't even know if it's still open. So I ain't gonna speak on it. But when we went there, it was pretty clean versus gunpowder because I won't let my kids get in that gunpowder water. I'm sorry. I can't even see.
Gunpowder is just, I
I
mean,
can't see my toe.
the beaches in the United States in general, especially along this East Coast, it's just, and that's probably one of the reasons I don't swim at beaches. I just, because I've been to Jamaica's and Hawaii and even I've been to Africa, a beach in Africa, where you can see your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And I just,
I don't like going into none of the beaches in Maryland because first of all, why I can't see my feet? Why
I
is the
Yeah.
went
water
to,
brown?
we went to, what's the beach near Busch Gardens? Is that, is that
Virginia
Virginia?
Beach.
That's Virginia Beach?
It's which one y'all went to? The one in Williamsburg.
But yeah, that one.
So it
So
got to be Virginia Beach.
I stood
I've never
in the
been to.
water. I stood in the water and a lady fell and water splashed. When I say it had to be a couple drops of water that
What you
got into
do?
my mouth and
What you do?
sick. I was sick for an entire month.
My God. Oh.
When I say it had to only been I felt it on my tongue.
Oh.
Ew.
And this was the first day we went to Busch Gardens, but we stayed in Williamsburg, but we went to the beach for the first day. And when I say it went in my mouth and I saw so many things flashing in my mind because I don't
They
typically
said I
get in the
saw
water. But
everything
I
flash.
wasn't even deep in the water. I was only up to my ankles in the water. But when she fell, the water just splashed on us. And when I say by the end of that week, I was already starting to feel it.
Nick,
And then
Nick, I
when we
think you
got
a
home,
hypochondriac. I think you
when we
was a
got home,
hypochondriac. He said I got
right?
sick.
No, when we got home that next week, I was sick for a whole. I remember because I had to take off work for that month.
Mm-mm.
That's how sick I was. But yeah,
I won't do it.
I don't get
I
in beach water.
go. I
What was
get in beach water.
Go ahead.
I love beach water. Like when we went to Florida
So you
down
got a
at Palm
strong
Coast where
stomach.
my
You
mother
got a
stayed.
strong stomach.
No, that beach
She
at the
got a
beach
strong
water was.
stomach. I
Did y'all
mean,
see
I don't
my?
know.
Did y'all see my reel? Because that beach water was pretty clear. Palm Coast beach water, it was pretty clear. Like
Yeah,
you can really see for a little. Like before you get over, I forgot what it's called. It was like this thing where you can kind of. It's like the water went down, and then it was like a thing of a strip of sand. I forgot what you call it. You can stand up and still be above the water, but you further out. They
yeah,
called it
yeah,
something. I forgot what it's called. But I could still see the kids and I could still see in the water, like when we was
yeah.
using the boogie board and stuff. So that water was pretty clean to me. Florida water. Now I ain't saying Miami. I don't know about Miami because you know everybody that's their trip. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, BlackRoses, but that's our trip. We all go
The water
from
here in Miami is real clear. The water
Yeah.
here in Miami is clear.
But you
yeah.
still have
Yeah,
to
it just
watch the
seems
water. If
you
it's
still
beach
have to watch
water,
it. Yeah.
you have to watch it because people pee,
Right.
Hmm.
children defecate,
Right.
Yeah.
animals
It's
defecate. So it's still
flesh eating diseases in them
yeah.
waters. Yeah.
I get
Yeah. You have to
so
be careful.
from that experience. I'm the person that's gonna stay up by the seats and watch everybody's stuff. That's me.
That was Black Roses when we went to
That's
Ocean.
me.
That was Black Rose when we went to Myrtle Beach. She stayed
Yeah,
up at
Mhm.
the chin. She would not. Even when we went to the pool,
yeah.
we
See,
had
the
to.
pool
She
is
said
different. The pool
she
See,
is
would not.
different
but I
because
can
they have to
honestly say
clean it.
now I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to be more adventurous in a sense of trying to step
Mhm.
outside of my comfort zone because I am that person that will sit on the side of the pool with
She
my
sure
feet in the
would
water
with her
because
feet in the water.
I've almost drowned before as a young child, so I don't like getting in pools. I don't like getting in the beach. But I can honestly say on this trip, I did get in the pool. I was sitting on the side of the pool for a while, and then we met this really nice gay couple who made me feel more welcome in the water. So when I got in, I felt good. I did get in the beach. I did get in the water. So yeah.
Look at
I'm
you.
I'm I'm trying to be more adventurous with my life. I'm trying to do more things that I know I'll be scared to do. So I'm trying to branch away from those kind of things. Actually say Clearwater Beach. Yeah, the water is pretty clear here. Real blue, nice blue water. Yep.
Mm.
But
Yep.
so my next question to you are, what was that first gift from your child that, or have you ever had a gift in general that made you cry?
Yeah,
Um, have I ever had a gift that made me cry?
I did. It didn't make me cry. It
Oh,
didn't make me cry, but it almost did. My son, my oldest son, wrote me a letter, and he didn't have any money, so he put. I think he had like a couple dollars. He
oh,
put $1 in the envelope, and he wrote me a long letter. And it didn't make me cry because I'm not really a cry person, but it kind of made me feel like, oh
we
my
know.
God,
You have no emotion, no heart.
he really sat down, and he was like, he just basically wrote like, this is for you for all the hard work that you do, and we know you work for us. And this was only like two
Oh,
years ago, so I was surprised because that was like preteen, so I was surprised I even got it. And he really put his thought into it. He was like, well, I know you work hard, and I couldn't get you anything, so I just gave you what I had, which was like $1. He rolled up in the little letter. He was like, I just want to tell you that we love you and we appreciate everything you do for us. You and Daddy work hard for us. And that was pretty much it. It didn't make me cry, but it almost did. I almost felt like, oh my God, he really sat there and he really sees me and his
almost.
father working hard to provide the things that they need. And I always call my kids spoiled brats. So now I kind of feel bad.
Mm,
Aw,
I knew Kay was a crybaby. I knew it was somewhere in
she
there.
ain't no crybaby. That girl don't have no heart.
I do got a little heart. What you talking about?
She don't have no heart. She don't have no
When you
heart.
got three boys, you guys still, you gotta be a little hard. Even with my daughter, I don't, cause she got a smart mouth. Let's just put it
Somebody
like
said,
that.
"Watch out for the sharks." Motor Cop
Motor,
Chronicles. I
motor
can't see.
cop.
Motor Cop Chronicles podcast said, "Watch out for the sharks." Happy Mother. Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you. The handwritten card is more heartfelt than any store bought one.
It
That is
is.
cool.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
It
is.
really was. It
Yeah.
threw me off. What about you, Black Roses? What did you can you think of something that you got?
I can't think of anything that I have gotten for Mother's Day that made me cry. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I
Mm.
don't know.
What
When
so
I don't know.
what does your son usually do like for Mother's Day? Do he usually buy you presents? Do he usually offer to take you out? Do y'all do like just a Mother Sunday thing, or he just kind of let you be?
Um, for the most part, he let me be. Now that he's older, he don't really bother me too much. He did pay my cell phone bill, so he texted me
Look
the
at
other day.
that. That's a gift right
Well,
there.
he called me. He texted me the other day and said, "I paid your cell phone bill, so happy Mother's
Oh,
Day." So that was my gift. I'm thankful for it. But I
oh.
can't honestly like Jalen not really like he's not really like a emotional kind of guy. He's just like
Are you
so
emotional? Are you a touchy feely
Yeah,
I
emotional?
she
am.
is.
I
She
am.
a
Yep.
baby.
Yep. I'm very emotional. I'll cry at the drop of a hat.
She a
I mean, in
baby.
terms of you
I
being
just like that. I
affectionate,
cry about anything. Listen, I
are
cry
you
about
that way
anything.
with
You do
him
something
though?
nice to
Are
me, I'm gonna
y'all?
cry like, oh my God, you thought about me.
Do y'all have like that touchy feely type
Relationship with
of
our kids.
yeah?
I do. I have that touchy feely relationship with
And
Jalen.
he
He be
don't
like, all
like
right,
it.
man.
Yep,
He be like,
that's
all
what I
right,
can
man.
say. He don't like it.
All
I
right,
know
all
he
right.
don't like it because that's me. I hate it.
Mm-mm.
I hate it when my mother leave and
But
go back to
Scorpios are
Florida.
like that though. I feel like Scorpios
Well,
are
I'm a
like that when they're
Gemini.
one of those signs.
I
That's
don't
one of
like
those signs that don't like too much affection. Like I'd be like, I love you. Can I get a hug?
Nate,
And he'd be like, all right
are
now.
you touchy
I'm
feely as a
I'm
Gemini?
not. I'm really not. And I think I used to always say as my family. As I grow older, it is definitely my family. I think we had maybe one or two people in my family that were touchy feely, and we all thought they were weird. Uh, but that's weird to think that they're weird because they were actually showing affection. But it's crazy. I think, especially for Geminis, we can be sexually touchy feely, but that other
Yep,
Oh,
side
you're
is
right.
like, but for
oh.
somebody to come up and hug
You
you,
Hug
know,
you,
I can
yes.
honestly say every
Oh, I
Gemini
don't
I
like
ever known, you are absolutely correct on that. Because every Gemini I know is
hmm
that kind of person.
but
Yeah.
that's where it cuts off. When that's over, we can be. I'm a person that shows affection. Like I'm the person that do something nice for you, or that
right.
type of thing. But
That's true.
that touchy thing, and even in my family, we're not big I love you type of people. We'll show it, but we're not big verbally.
Right.
And I think
That's
that
how
is,
I am.
yeah,
I'm not. I'm not. I love you, but my mother forces it out of me. Especially when she
yeah.
leave and go back home, she
Mm.
be trying
It's
to hug
awkward
everybody. I
though.
be like,
What is
I
your mama
cringe.
Gemini too, ain't she? What is she?
My mother, Aries. What is it?
Aries.
Oh, they
Aquarius. Aquarius.
Aquarius.
okay. So
She's an
yeah,
Aquarius.
but it's my mother.
Yeah, all the Aries I know, they're not too really emotional neither. All the Aries I know, they like, all right, give me a hug, but that's
But
about
they
all you
want
gonna
to
get.
be though.
But they
They
want to be,
that
yes.
like
Okay,
they'll
you are
give you a
absolutely
hug,
right.
but they frowning at the same
Hmm.
time.
They be like, all right, you touching me too much, but then it'll be like,
Right.
oh, and the
But
inside,
they're the
yeah,
ones that want you to
yeah.
pour love
They the
into
ones that
them.
want you to put. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every single Aries I know. I
Uh
just
huh.
wanted to say that loud
Oh,
for the Aries in here.
you
So what?
stupid.
Uh, uh, so I'll start with this question. In terms of me being a child of a mother, um, I think my mother said something to me that one first made me angry, but then as I've grown from that point, it made sense. My mother told me that I taught her how to be a mother, and I
Oh.
never. I was like, so you ain't know what you was doing? I was angry.
Nobody
So
does.
all of them, but again, I'm a child. I'm not a parent, so
Let me
I
let you on
didn't
a little
get that.
secret real quick. Sidebar. No mother out here know what the hell they doing.
So that's
Nobody.
my question to you all. At what point did you feel I got this?
At what point did I feel I got this? Um, I want to say I felt like I got this at. Oh man, I don't know when Jalen became of school age. I want to say because for me that was the hardest part of my life. That was the hardest part when he became of school age. Yeah, yeah.
Y'all don't want my
To me,
Mm,
answer.
when and wait a minute, let me just say by saying I got this, don't mean that I got it down pat. It
right.
means that I can do this. That
Yeah.
means you know what I can say when he was born.
It
When he
wasn't
was
scary
born.
anymore.
When he was born, it became
Look, good,
real.
Ashley.
It
I'm still
became
learning.
real. I mean, I'm
Ashley
still
says
learning
she's
too,
still
but
learning.
as your kid get older, you don't, so some of that kind of like, all right, some of it just kind of like now teaching them life lessons, instead of them trying to, navigate through life.
Right.
Somebody said, everyone needs to appreciate their moms and love them. One day they will not be here and you will miss them every day. Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. I don't know if you
Absolutely.
lost your mom or the Cop Chronicles, but yeah. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. LaDawn said, I felt like I got this once I really noticed how strong my support system was.
That's
Yes,
what I can
yes,
say.
LaDawn.
I can say
That's
that.
awesome. For
I can say
me,
that.
that's why I say for me, it was since birth because I didn't have a real strong support system. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not from Baltimore. So for me, I didn't have a lot of my own personal family here. And at the time, my mother was still in active addiction. So a lot of the things that I learned or I had to do was basically off of what I felt like I wanted as from a mother, because I never had mine. So for me, it was like I really modeled myself after what I wanted my mother to be or who I wanted my mother to be.
Mm, mm.
But I'm kind of still learning, now that life goes on. Now that he's older,
Everybody
I
is.
feel like for me, I feel like for me personally, now that Jalen is about to be 20, I feel like most of it is just now teaching him, helping him guide, navigate through
Mhm.
life, figuring out what he want to do, supporting him in every way possible that I can. Trying to teach him still, little lessons and letting him know that, hey, mistakes are gonna happen. You're gonna make them. Things are not gonna go the way that you plan. But instead of doing it this way, how about trying it this way? You know.
Right.
And I know
Right.
What
that's hard
about you,
for
Q?
you. I feel like that's hard for you
Oh yeah, it's really hard for me. Absolutely,
because I
without a
want you to do what
doubt,
the hell
it's
I
hard.
told you to do, and not.
Right.
Right.
But then
Right.
I be wanting to say that, but in my mind I'll be like, he'll come back to you. He'll come back to me.
Mhm.
That's a part of learning now that he's a man in the sense of the world. He's an adult. But it's like, because the difference between being an adult and being grown. So he's an adult, and it's like a young adult, and it's like I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed, but he'll come back. And
That
when he
is
come
hard.
back, I can't be like I told you. So I gotta be like, well, how about you try it this way?
That
I
is
don't think
hard.
that's the right way you should do it. I think you should try it this way.
That
Yeah.
is hard. To let them
Yeah.
fall and let them
Yeah.
fall and catch
Mhm.
themselves. That is hard.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
for you, it's different because your children are still at the age where they have to be watched, they have to
Yeah.
be monitored.
Mhm.
Is it different from what you hear uh, Crystal talking about versus letting go? Because your oldest child is how old?
14.
14. Oh well, yeah. So you're starting to feel that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I always had a strong support system. My grandma, my mom is like my strongest like back in like
Mhm.
anything mother wise.
Mhm.
I felt like I was never from my first child, I felt like I was never alone and like I never needed anything. I never needed to want for anything for my child because I always had my parents, my mother, my father, my stepfather. It's always been somebody, even on the men's side, having men, my husband, is kind of he kind of, is not like he's not like one of those guys that like the bad baby daddies that people say like, oh, he
He's
ain't
very
around,
hands
he doing
on.
wrong, he's stern, he wrong. It's always been a strong support system all the way around. So I've never really felt like I don't have it or in fear that let me I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. And even if I do feel like that, my mom consistently sends me messages and everything, like just inspirational
Mhm.
things like you got this. Today is like it's just it's awesome. I mean, I hate that I now y'all making me feel emotional. That's
Hold up.
really
Motorcop said young men don't get common sense until their 30s. That is true.
that's
And
true.
I'm still making dumb choices until I woke up. I was still making dumb choices until I woke up
That's
in
true.
30s.
But
Yeah.
that,
That's
but
true.
aside from that, a part of that being a black man that happens because we expect for our young men to just get it. They gonna have to do
Instantly.
it right, and we push them
Mhm.
out there so they're making dumb decisions until
Right.
they're 30, and then
Mhm.
they spend their
Mhm.
30s and probably their 40s cleaning up those mistakes. So we have
Right.
to begin to
Yeah.
nurture them the same way.
Right.
Uh, but um, I mean, if you want to cry, can't cry. It's a special edition, so
You finna
it's
make
a
me cry.
Sunday.
You see how that tear went back up real quick. You ain't finna make me
Real
cry. But listen,
We gonna get one of these tears out of you one day. We gonna get
look,
a tear.
even my therapist told me that one day. She said that was scary. I said what? She said to watch you almost a tear almost hit how fast you was able to pull that thing back together. I don't know what to say. I'm like, yeah, I'm hooked. I
Yeah.
go hooked say. No, but for real, I just
Mhm.
always I like just family all around me. It's never been
Mhm.
a point where I felt like I was going to fall. And it's always unexpected when I think or feel like when I feel in my mind like okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's always unexpected. My unexpected
Yeah.
family members that just come out the blue and it's like they push me right back up. So I never feel a sense of I don't have this. I'm drowning. I'm done. The only time I truly have felt like that is through the loss of my brother, because I just shut down from the world for
Mm-hmm.
like almost a year and a half. I literally shut down. I didn't want anybody to say anything, even my kids. I come home from work, I go in my room, I close it down, and that's all I could do. I shut down from everybody. And it's crazy because what happened was my mother, even though it's her son, it's my brother. And it was crazy because she again was the one that made me realize and open up and look at things a different way, because I'm like, this is her son, this is my brother, but this is actually a baby that she actually lost for no reason. And for
Uh-huh.
her to be being strong enough to tell me, okay, you got to think about it like things happen. You got to think about, for all of her positivity, even though this is her son, her baby that she lost, it was like, okay, why you acting like that? She ain't even
Yeah.
acting like that. She's still out here,
Mm-hmm.
living her best life and still trying to move, on, and still trying to just live life. So when I look at it at that instant, it really just brought me back to, okay, get back on your shit again. Come on, get back to it. Stop playing. You playing
Right.
around. You
Well,
Right.
see,
that
I
time that
can't.
you
Right.
took was necessary, but the strength of watching a mother lose a child is like, I don't care how old that child is. It's unnatural and it feels unnatural. And
Right,
we've all
Mm-hmm.
watched those women. My grandmother who just passed, I watched her sit in that first seat of every funeral of like five children that she lost, and I watched her
Man.
sit in that seat and be as stoic as she needed to be. I've never seen her cry before. I've never seen her lose it, and to watch her be that strong is like, I was worried of what was she was holding in, but sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm learning specifically about parents in general that are good, solid, and good doesn't mean you get it right all the time, but people, ones that are consistent, is an inner strength that you have to have. Um, because anything could happen, anything, and
right,
it's just being able to tap into that. I think that's one of the strongest characteristics of the mothers that I know personally, is
right,
just being able to get through it and get
right.
through it with not even just a smile on your face, but just getting through it and just
Mm-hmm.
being that shoulder for everybody else. That's when I think of a strong mother. Um, that's what I see, because that's what I've experienced
Right.
in my home, in my family, and within my circle of friends. Just somebody who just not afraid to break down, but know they got to keep it moving.
You know they gotta keep it
Because
moving. Yeah.
and you probably felt that way, Kate, because you had a strong system and you had an active dad for your children in their lives. So you felt that comfort and just falling back
Yeah,
and feeling in that moment.
yeah. I still, but my biggest
Mm-hmm.
fear now is that the biggest fear for me, as far as being a mother,
Hmm.
is, and it's like this is the one fear that I have all the time. It's almost like a nightmare. Everything that's going on with these young black males,
Hmm.
and to
Yeah.
know that one day I might not be here to help or save my child through all this
Hmm.
stuff that's going on. That is my biggest fear, to
That is
not have
scary.
them be pulled over and have to go through, and I know it's bound to happen. That's just, I hate to say that's just life, but it is life. I've experienced it myself.
Hmm.
Um, but that's just like my biggest fear. I just want to hold them and kind of shield them away from all this stuff, because literally they don't know about this. I mean, they know about Black Lives Matters and things like that, but they still kind of young, so it's the understanding
And they're
around
not
all
they're
this.
Mm-hmm.
not living
Mm-hmm.
in that environment where that's in their face either.
Right,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
exactly,
it's a difference. It's definitely,
exactly.
that's one of the things, as I when I've grown up, and one of the things that has kept me somewhat detached from a lot of people that I meet, I didn't have that. It was around me, but my mother shielded me from life, and that was her argument with her own mother. He has to see life. You can't protect him to the point where once you're not here anymore, he doesn't know what to do.
He don't know what to do.
But
He
it's
doesn't
a
know what to
balance
do.
that you have to do, because you have worked hard so they did not have to experience that, but they still have to have the education because they're going to be in school with people who have experienced that life. They're going to
Right.
make friends with people who have experienced that life. They have
That's right.
family
That is
members
absolutely
that
right, Nate.
experience that life. And if you keep
You
it
are
from
so
them
right.
in terms of hiding it, they're going to grow up and make those same mistakes later
Yeah,
in life.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's crazy because those are conversations that I can't have. Those are hard conversations for me to have because I fear excuse me, I fear the why. Well, why does this happen? Why is this happening? Why did they do that? I fear the why. So you know what I do? Don't judge me. I passed it off to my mother. Don't judge me. I'd be like, go talk to your grandmother.
But
Not why. No, pass
that's
it
the
off.
family unit you have. That you have somebody to be able to give that. That's what the village is.
Well,
I
have you ever
really
tried to
thought,
sit in on the conversation to see what to say, see how to say it?
yeah,
No, so
yeah.
it's actually funny that, I always felt like I've had to, like I said, pass it on, pass those things on. Like even the passing of my brother, I just could not bring myself to tell my kids. The passing of my grandma, I could not bring myself to tell them because I don't want to explain the why. So they literally got all the way to my brother's funeral. I was like, y'all know where y'all going? Y'all going to your uncle's funeral. And that
Wow.
I could not bring
How
myself to
dare
say
you spring that kind of information on them children at that
But
moment?
but Kay, I get it. But that in our black
That is
community,
hard. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, what?
we have to stop that. There are some people that would not have taken their children to the funeral because they didn't
Yeah.
want to face the conversation. They
Mm-hmm.
would have to ask the questions.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have to stop doing that to our children and to ourselves because you are.
yeah.
I'm not blaming UK because you ultimately had to because you were taking them, but we are doing so much damage to our young people in general, because we're not having a hard
We're
conversation.
not having a
And
Yeah,
conversation.
and that's
our children are running right into adulthood with the problems that we avoided talking about.
that's what
Yeah,
I figured out. I figured that out that I didn't even have to send them to my mother. That's where the balance comes in with me and
Yeah.
David. Because I figured out he is the one that's actually able to have out of both of us. He can actually sit there and have those conversations with him. I overheard him
Mhm.
yesterday teaching them a couple of things. I thought he was drunk because we was drinking yesterday. So I thought he was drunk just with them kids.
Well, a drunk
But
mind speaks the truth.
yeah.
the conversation, I was so scared because I'm sitting there upstairs, I'm getting ready, and I'm cringing. Like, what is he talking? I kept hearing him say, yeah, because hood niggas and da da da. And I used to fight when I was in school with this. So I'm cringing, like, what is you down there telling my kids? What is you teaching them? They ain't even from the hood like that. But then I overheard him and he said, yeah. But this is something this is my life. This is something that y'all would never need to go through. Y'all don't need for nothing. Do y'all ever get do y'all ever ask anything that y'all don't get? Do y'all feel like y'all ever need anything? So y'all would never have to sell drugs. Y'all would never have to be out here on the street robbing people. You would never have to be bullying people. You don't need anything because you just asked me. So it was life. Like he's able to have those conversations that I didn't know that he actually be sitting there having with those boys. So yeah, I overheard that conversation and then I kind of pulled back. But at first, I would get ready to run down them steps like, what is you teaching them about the hood? What is you teaching them? Teaching them about
But
fighting
look,
and
but listen to what you just said. The fact that you
what?
did not want them to know that does not mean that they'll never be exposed to it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you would
So
rather be in control of the narrative versus some knucklehead friend who
Who
right,
don't
gonna
want
help? Who
all the
gonna peer
information.
pressure them into doing it?
Right.
right.
And that's another
So
thing. Like, no matter how, that's another thing I learned about parenting and about being a mother. No matter how much you try to shield your child away from it, they're gonna come up against somebody who's gonna force it on them.
Hmm.
And it's at that point where they have to make a choice whether peer pressure gonna get to me or I'm gonna have to go with my morals and just say,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna be that person. Somebody said,
right.
don't shelter children. Better to let them experience good and bad things early while you are there to help and explain it than to have them figure it out by themselves when it happens as an adult. That is true.
That's
As
true.
That
somebody
is
who
true.
sits
Yeah.
in a
That's true.
classroom and I watch children peer pressure each other with their behavior, I always try whenever I have an interaction with a parent about that behavior of a child. That's what I tell them. I said your child is being influenced by somebody else who's simply watching somebody else at home do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not willing
Mm-hmm.
to have that hard conversation or take that time and have that hard conversation, your child is going to get suspended before that child does.
Yeah.
Right.
Because your child is
Yeah.
going to feel like I have to one up this child in order
True.
to look popular or be the friend of everybody else. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something that slight. That's why you have so many
Mm-hmm.
good families that are so lost when something that tragic happens to a child that could have been
Yeah.
prevented.
That
Because
could
you
have
were
been
not
prevented.
as good as you were at giving and supplying resources
Ooh.
and values, you never had the hard conversations with your children about the dangers of peer pressure and being
Right.
in the midst of people who have to live that life.
Right.
And
And
if
that's
you
I'm glad I
don't
had
do it,
those conversations with Jalen at an early age.
yeah.
And I had these conversations with him before he started high school because I know as a
yeah,
person who had just been in high school her damn self,
yeah,
Right.
high school is gonna be the point where you're gonna have to find out who you really are. A high
Right.
school makes a lot of these people who they are today because either you're gonna be in the in crowd or you're just gonna be the oddball. And
yeah.
it's gonna take a lot of sacrifices and a lot of things to get in that in crowd. It's gonna be a lot of shit that your mama told you not to do that you're gonna have to do and you're gonna want to do just to fit in.
And you
And you
we
don't and
push out
it's so hard now.
right, and
I was taught that I am my
we
own
push
person.
those
I don't have
same
to follow anyone to
children.
be a leader and never be a follower.
We
Yeah.
push those same children that are the oddballs, not realizing they're the ones that are on the right path.
They are
We
on the
want
right
our
path.
children to be the cool kids. But
Right.
being a cool kid comes at a price.
Come
Being
at
a
a
cool
price.
kid gets you pregnant at 15. Being a cool kid gets you sucking dick in the hallway and they making videos about it and putting it on the internet now. That's
Ooh,
what comes with being a cool kid.
that's
That's
what comes
true.
with being a
With
cool kid.
virginity, coming home
That's
with an
true.
STD,
Mm-hmm.
losing your life, being
That's
put in
true.
sex trade.
That's
Those
true.
are the type of things that come with being a cool kid. So just remember when you're pushing your child to be more active, that's what happens.
That's what
True.
happened.
That's what happens. I remember one of my
Yeah.
good friends from middle school, his mother used to complain about him not wanting to do the things that she saw me doing. And in my mind, I was like, Miss, you better be glad your son not doing these things.
Right.
Just be glad. Just be glad he's not doing those things. Because I knew I was starting to make mistakes based off of peer pressure. But we don't look. We just want our children to be okay. But make
Right.
sure you know what okay looks like for you. Make sure you know what that looks like in your children.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
My next question to you are so we understand when you felt like you were the most comfortable. What about being a mother do you wish you had known before you were a mother versus having to learn it on the job?
I wish I would have known that every day wasn't going to be easy.
Easy.
Because I always thought that being a mom would be easy. I mean, I was young and dumb and naive. I didn't know,
You thought
but
it
I
was cute.
always thought.
You was like the
I
cute.
thought
You thought
no,
about the cute
no. I
outfits.
never thought it was cute. I always thought that okay, being a mom is something so easy. Like nobody ever sees your children never sees what it takes to be a mom.
Right.
No
Like,
child
'cause
has
when
ever
I
see
become
what
a
it takes to
mom,
be a
I'm not
mom
gonna
until they
treat my
become a
child
mom.
like that.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That part, Nate. Because when I
Because you
become a
realize
mom,
you have to
I'm
deal
not
with
going to do
self
like that until I had to realize, okay, you got to raise this child from the day that they are born to the day that they die. That is a huge responsibility,
and
and
you have that
it did
changes.
not click for me that was a huge responsibility until I got about 25, 30.
And how
That
old was your
you
child
have
at
to.
the time?
Jalen was about 12. Yeah.
So and then you were having to make choices for a black male not having
Mhm.
that black male beside you.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And as
Mhm.
fathers, you don't have any
Mhm.
brothers, do you?
I have brothers, but they're younger. One of them is in prison, and the other one lives in Texas.
So
So,
the example that you wanted for your child was not one that you necessarily had raising a child.
um, yeah, 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 absolutely.
Okay. So And so I'm gonna let Kate answer, and then we can wrap up for today.
Okay. Hold on. Y'all know I got ADHD. What was the question?
What was what was something that you learned as a parent that you wish you would have known before you were a parent?
I'm still I feel like I'm still learning about my
Mm-hmm.
kids. So I can't necessarily say the biggest thing for me is just boys. It's funny, just it's
Mm-hmm.
not anything too serious like what BlackRoses was saying. It's just boys. Boys is nasty. That's the biggest thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just boys. Oh, and raising a girl. I can say that. Raising a girl is so much different than raising boys.
So you
I
have one
always
girl, and the rest of them are boys.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
always feared. I never wanted a girl. I always feared like we going to clash. I always feared what everybody else told me about girls. When she get to a certain age, she gonna rebel. She gonna hate you. She gonna cuss you out. And I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do when she get to this age? Because now I'm scared. I'm a little scared. What am I gonna do? And I'm starting to, even though she's 5, I'm starting to see her personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to
I
see her
don't I don't want
personality.
you to. I would. The thing with raising girls, and I don't have one, but I see a lot of women and people. I know a lot of people who raise girls. When she get to an age, when she get 10, 11, 12, I want you to be able to have her. I want her to be able to feel comfortable with coming to you about things, because I look at how Wardell is raising Amira, and she don't have her mom. You know, she's not active, and she's now at a point where I don't want to tell you that. I don't want to say that to you. We all got to that point. I don't want to tell you that. I don't want to say that to you. But I feel like in my heart, Gemma not gonna be like that. I feel like Gemma's gonna be like, look, I'm about to tell my mother. I tell my mother everything. I'm gonna tell my mother. I'm gonna tell my mother. And I want y'all to keep that relationship, because that is something that a lot of girls don't have. A lot of them don't have it. Somebody
Right.
said being a good and active parent is one of the hardest jobs in the world. Oh my God. Yes.
He said, "Men."
Men need to be responsible, need to responsible their children. Anyone that can make a baby.
Responsibility.
But it takes a man to raise them and be a part of their child's life. That's right.
That's true.
Anybody can, and even for women, she's gonna be you. How she gonna be how you were in your teenage years. She's gonna
Why
be
would you
just
do
like
that?
her. Just
Why
like
would
her,
you do
Ashley.
that?
Just like her.
So
But
you know I wasn't
yeah,
no good. You know I wasn't no
even
good
with
as a
women,
teenager.
and let me say that, even with women, a lot of these women don't want to be mothers. A lot of
Right.
them want babies. They want the baby from the man, but they don't want to be a mother. And by being a mother, I mean you don't want to take the hard days. And there's no way you can tell me you having hard days when you don't have your child that much. How you got
Right.
a hard day? How you having a hard day and your kid ain't with
Right.
you 90% of the time? How you having a
Right.
hard day and your kid is in 75% of the time your kid is somewhere else? Don't tell me you're having a fucking hard day. I admire a lot of these young women out here, like my sister, my little sister Ezra, for her. I admire her being the mother that she is. I admire people like Fufu for being a good mother. Like these are women I see actively in their kids' life, doing shit with their kids, taking their kids places, having their kids in something, and not just worried about my life. Because I'm a mama, I
Crystal,
gotta have my life.
Crystal,
Right.
we have to also give space and not comparing good or bad parents. Sometimes this comes natural for certain people.
Sometimes,
Some
yeah.
people just had sex and oops, I have a baby.
And oops, I
What
have
the
a
fuck am
baby.
I going to do with
That's
this
true.
child? And we have to give each other that space. That's why the village is so important, because the village picks up where the parents left off. I have a lot of extra moms in my life. My friend Dern's mom is Catherine, my aunt Val. There are certain people that were put in my life to help my mother because she had no idea what it was going to be like having a child. My mother was 23, but it was still like, I don't know what the fuck. I looked in her face sometimes and realized we making this shit up as we go along.
We making this shit
Right.
up as we
Hang
go.
on, it's about to be a real bumpy ride.
I know Jayla looked at me a couple times saying, "My mama making this shit up. This ain't even how it's supposed to
And
be." I know my child has looked at me and
just
said
know
that.
that you do have some children that are that observant and
She making this
realize
shit up. This ain't
she
even how the
is
fuck this
making
supposed to
this shit
go.
up as she go along. And yet and still at 30, when my mother said I taught her how to be a parent, it still was upsetting to me initially.
Because
Because I
bitch,
was
you didn't
like,
know what the fuck you
nobody,
was
but I
doing.
was more upset. I was more upset of at family for not stepping in
Stepping
and
in,
doing
yeah.
something. We see each other struggling. We like, well, you had to learn that. No, learn that the lesson don't always have to be a gut punch.
We about to get off right
But
now. Okay.
as we close out to the day, because Miss Miami gotta get on her
We have a
plane.
brunch to go to, guys. I'm so
Right.
sorry.
Oh.
But close out with your advice, one, to new mothers, and just to mothers in general, or those people that are standing in the space of being a mother to a child that may not even be theirs. What advice do you all want to leave them with today?
You can go first, Tia.
I would say one, everybody going through the same thing. It's always going to be hard just to raise a child in general, whether you by yourself, whether you have a significant other. It's hard in general just raising a child or multiple kids. So you're never by yourself. And don't feel like you can't reach out. Don't feel like you can't reach out to other mothers. I mean, there's so many things going on. If you go on Facebook, you go on social media, they have so many mothers groups, where you can talk to anybody. If you have any questions, there's so many resources out here to help mothers that don't know what they're doing to
Mm-hmm.
become, the mother that they want to be. But everybody is going through something as far as being a parent. So don't never feel like you by yourself. Um, Two, for what was the second question for new mothers?
Just for new
Mm-hmm.
mothers, maybe the grandparents that's being a mother, what advice do you have for them?
It, as Nate always says, it takes a village. It takes a village, and that really plays a part on how these kids turn out. That's the biggest thing. It really plays a part. So don't just sit there, like Nate said, and be that side aunt, uncle that's just sitting there like, oh, she made it, she had him, she gonna figure it out. He made it,
Yeah.
he sat late with that
Yeah.
girl, he gonna figure it out. Step in, say something. Don't just expect for your family member to fall on their face. You never
Yeah.
know. They just may need, like my mother does me, just a word of encouragement, just for them to get back up and get
Mm-hmm.
back on their feet and get back into their shit. And that's my final say so.
Miss Crystal.
um, for me, I want to say there are no good and bad to parenting. Um, there's no right way to do something. There is no right way to be a good parent.
Right.
Try to be there for your child as much as they can. Everything that they do, you're not going to be able to support them in. Everything that they have going on, you're not going to be able to be that 100%. But as they get older, as they go through life, help them navigate. Don't try to live your life through them. Don't try to be who you were at 16 and try to be who they are now at 16. You can't do that. Help them navigate as much as you can. Help them through whatever they're going through as much as you can. Be their biggest support system. That's the biggest thing. Be your child's biggest support system. And there is no right or wrong. Everybody's going to have their fucking opinion. Everybody's going to have something to say. At the end of the day, do what's best for you and your child. And you got this. Keep being the good, strong mother that you are. You got
Right.
this. It's gonna be some good days and it's gonna be some bad ones. But don't let the bad outweigh the good.
Right.
Y'all
That's
so
it.
intelligent.
Thank you. I know she almost made me cry, sight.
Shut up.
Thank you.
So that's
Thank
that's a
y'all.
show for today. I
Yes.
wanted to turn the tables on them a little bit, but I would say in leaving, just ask for help.
Just ask
No,
for
there are
help.
no supermen or superwomen that exist in my reality and my world. Just ask for the help that's needed. Sometimes that help,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes you have to go to that help outside of what's familiar to you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So suck it up, put that
Suck
pride
it
to the
up.
side, and get the help that's necessary so we can have healthy
Absolutely.
children, healthier families, and
Yes.
healthier individuals in general.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
So
All
happy
right.
Mother's Day, ladies.
Thank
Thank
Um,
you.
you.
I have a gift, but I'll give it to you when I see you. But
Okay.
this Saturday we're having a paint party.
Paint
Four
party.
down,
Ooh.
1734 Maryland Avenue. These ladies will be hosting a sip and paint. We
Yes.
have a little mimosa on the side. So just,
And KD will be at the other event.
Yes.
where would you be at, Kay?
What time that start?
It
Oh
starts at
Lord.
3. It started at 3.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be at I don't know where I'm gonna be at.
Handle your business tag and title. 1329 West
Don't judge
Baltimore
me.
Street.
Don't judge me, y'all.
Um, she's having a
Doing so
business
much.
shower,
They're doing so
so
much, but we're
I
getting
know, right?
better. Continue to share out the show. Continue to like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
a donation button that you can see, Cash App, Blueprints, to help support these ladies do what they do. If you choose to
Hmm.
give, give. But it's Mother's Day, so feel
It's
guilty.
Mother's Day. Yeah, feel guilty to give.
Right.
But you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Mother's Day.
Happy
Be
Mother's
happy.
Day.
Spend it with your kids if that's what you want to do. Spend it by yourself. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it and be
No
happy.
judgment.
No
No
judgment.
judgment.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.